y'all, it's Crafty Hope here, and welcome to day 4 of ICAD. ICAD means Index Card a Day, and I've got all the information about it below. Basically, you work and do some mixed media art on an index card. Now, I'm working with 2 prompts. One is from Daisy Yellow, and that prompt is key, and the other one is the mixed media ICAD prompt from Nina Fickett, and that is book text. Now, I thought those were both pretty simple. Book text, for one thing, you see I'm collaging down some dictionary paper that's got text on it, but I'm gonna go a little bit more into that. Um, I'm working from my scraps as much as I can for this year's index card. I've got 2 boxes of scraps and they are overflowing, and I'm not using a lot of my other materials because I have all these scraps. So I'm trying to work through those. So I'm going to cover my card first and foremost with some of my scrap paper using my Uhu glue stick. And I think I showed you there at the beginning that I have several sticker sheets that have keys on them. So that's how I figured I would bring key into this. Now, key could have been interpreted any kind of way, but that was the first thing that came to mind was, oh, I've got all those stickers. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so I've got part of a paper bingo card and some dictionary text on there, and I immediately just want to throw some paint at it. So I grab some Lucas acrylic paint in Indian Yellow, and I'm just going to squirt a little bit on my card here in just a second. I'm a little froggy this morning, y'all, so excuse my voice if it's a little All right, so I squirted that on there, and I am going to swirl some paint around, just smush it all over the place. And it's a little less opaque than I don't use my Lucas paints as much as I probably should for how nice they are. But anyway, once I got that on there, I knew I needed another color, and I wanted ink for some reason. The Ugly Art Club's theme for this month is, I think it's spilled ink. And so I was like, well, let's spill some ink on here. So I just squirted a couple drops of this Amsterdam acrylic ink in Reflex Orange. It is like neon, and it's something I hardly ever use, but I wanted something that made a statement, I guess. So I get that orange on there and then moved it around, added some water, and dried it. And then I wanted to add some black ink to this as well. So that is, I think it's India ink that I've put in a spice container so that the lid was more open, that I could get like a paintbrush or a pen or something in it. That's all that is. So I started to make just some little blobs, but then decided to turn them into plus signs. So I'm going to move those all the way across the card. I like the India ink because it's a nice stark statement. I think that's what I was going for, but I don't know. In a second, I'm going to be like, it's too dark. Yeah, everything. This one was a wild ride, y'all. Did you see I almost spilled that ink? Whew, that was a little heart palpitation there. So then I was like, oh no, these plus signs need something. So I grabbed my fine line bottle that has, it's white acrylic ink and airbrush medium in it. So, and I'm just circling these, y'all. I love to circle things. I don't know. This was just for texture, but yeah, I could have just scribbled across the page. That might have worked too on top of those, and that would have pushed it back more. So I get all that, and I'm going to go ahead and dry both that fine liner and the India ink there. And then I decide this is too bright, too pretty, I don't know, too bright. So I'll grab my instant coffee. This is a yogurt container I've got with just instant coffee, and I let it dry after each use, and I add water to it and reconstitute it. And so I'm going to splatter it right onto my card. I think I used instant coffee yesterday too, y'all. I love this stuff. But then I really just kind of wanted to paint it down to push back some of the brightness. So you see I'm doing that. And then again, I'll dry this. I had so much drying time in this one. All right, so now I'm going to try to finally bring in my key. So I kind of knew I wanted to use that stamp, but it wasn't going to stand out on the card. So I'm going into my scrap box, pulling out different things that I think I can stick that sticker on. And I finally settled on a piece of, it's gummed packing tape. It's craft paper colored. We'll get to it in a second. I'll pull it out and be like, that'll work. You see how many things I'm going through. And I did this for this whole card. We'll get to the book text part in a minute. And I speed that up because I went through like a bazillion book pages. So I tore down a little piece of that gummed packing tape and I'm going to stick my sticker right on it. And then I'll wet the back of that packing tape and it makes it adhesive. So I'll just grab my paintbrush here in a second when I finally decide and stick that down on my card. But once I stick it down, I realize I really want that key to be a little more grungy and I don't know, dark or something. So I'll grab my Stabilo all pencil in black and go around it to give it some shadow. Because you see how, I don't know, it just seems so boring and stark there on that packing tape. And the rest of the card has got so much interest to it. So I'll go around that. But when I do that, I realize that it's almost too dark, that the key gets lost. The key is dark, so the key gets lost inside the dark of that all. So I'll grab a Uniball Signo white gel pen and just add a highlight on there. See, it just like the definition is not there. So I'm just going to add a highlight around all of that. And then I'm going to start searching through book pages to find a bit of book text to add as a sentiment on here. And y'all, I'm tickled with what I found. I don't know if y'all saw it in the picture at the beginning. There'll be pictures at the end as well. But here I am searching through all kinds of book text. I'm going to speed this up quite a bit because I went through pages and pages, looked at them once and again, and I finally pick up one that's a large print book text, and I knew I just wanted a word or two, and I see the word potential, and it sticks out on the page that I find almost immediately, and y'all, this is the key to potential, or the key to unlocking your potential, and I was tickled over that, because as soon as I saw the word potential, I was like, that's the word. So here it is. I'm going to cut it out of my book page and realize it's too stark and pretty and bright. So I'll take a little bit of that coffee and paint over it and then just glue it down on top of my key. And that'll be my ICAD for today. This one was a little bit longer than some of the others, which is crazy because it's not really one of my favorites. It's kind of too bright for my usual style, but that's what's fun about ICAD is exploring some other styles and things you wouldn't use and using some materials that you've got in your stash that have kind of just gotten pushed to the side. So I hope you are playing along with ICAD, and if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That helps so much, and also it means so much to me that you've come by and taken the time to watch this. All right, y'all, have a beautiful day. Bye.